Hello, everybody. I was just setting up the Astrobiz Digest to look that up for this week, even though I was looking at it a little bit earlier, just to see what was going on, because there's been a lot of aggression I've noticed this week, the week of January 11th, I think, the 11th, the 10th, or the 11th to the Friday today, January 17th. I've just been seeing a lot of aggression, and perhaps it's Mars in retrograde, retrograding. Perhaps it's just people are on edge. It can be a combination of all of the above. Anyway, so we'll get to that though. We'll definitely take a look at the AstroBiz Digest. And do all of our mainstays for tonight's live stream. No particular topic in mind, just vibes, but I will be right back in about 20 seconds. So, welcome, everybody, to another episode of Tarot by Hilary Live. I am your hostess with the mostest, Hilary of tarotbyhilary.com, professional tarot reader and EFT tapping practitioner, here to demystify the mystical and put you in touch with the most beautiful of gifts, your own intuition. Because, yes, my friends, do not argue with me. You have intuition. So like I was saying before, our little splash video page, tonight we have no specific or set topic in mind, just vibes, but we will do the three pillars of the live stream as you've come to know and love. We will do the astro-weather from the wonderful AstroBiz Digest from Teresa Reed, aka the Tarot Lady, for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and any other astrological transits that are coming up this week. We will do the mid-episode reading if people are so inclined, and we will, of course, do the weekend forecast, in which I pull one tarot card or oracle card for the weekend so we can enter into the weekend prepared and not scared. So if that sounds good to you, give me a hell yeah in the chat. Let me know. I am also going to do my tech checks to make sure that we are broadcasting correctly, because that is the worst when I go off into a tangent and I think I am spouting words of wisdom or advice or giving a good reading, and then I find out, oh, tech isn't working and we're not actually live. Uh-oh. So I know things are definitely working on the Book of Face, because I see that Fran is here. Hell yeah. But let me check the tube of you and make sure that we are broadcasting correctly over there. And I have made myself a little cocktail. I am not so happy with how this one turned out. My ratios were off, and I don't think I had enough extra dry vermouth. So I think I did a little too much of the ramp vodka from Cooper's Daughter, I believe is the name of the distillery. So shout out to Cooper's Daughter. I love their ramp vodka. We talked about this, I think, last episode. Yes, you heard me correctly. They also have like almost like an espresso martini, something you can do, use to do an espresso martini. I think it's I hope I'm not confusing the distilleries, but I think it was a Cowboy Coffee, which had like a coffee kick to it. I don't know. I've sampled a lot of stuff because they'll do the farmers markets around here. And also I think their stuff is coming to stores. I was just seeing that today. So I'm like very excited that I can get my Cooper's Daughter outside of a farmer's market, which is very, very nice. But yeah, so Ram vodka, I use it for my dirty martinis. Um, so this one is too little extra dry vermouth, some olive juice, and ramp vodka from Cooper's Daughter. I think I did an ounce and a half. Then I didn't like the ratios, so I just eyeballed it and put a little bit more of the ramp vodka in. So cheers, everybody, to your health, and another live stream in the books. Mm. That's good too. So Stephanie is here as well. Hi, Stephanie. And Fran says, I accidentally started doing dry January and now I'm like, shrug, which is great too. I also want to get into doing mocktails as well because it's just like there's a lot of sober people in my life. And I want to be able to add mocktails to my repertoire where it's like there's no loss there in not having an alcohol component to the drink. I just want to be able to make flavorful drinks, and honestly I enjoy doing the shaker. Hey, and guess what, guys? I was able to pop out the shaker without hurting myself this time. I didn't hurt my wrist, my palm of my hand. 2 taps, and I was able to pop out the Boston Street Shaker. Didn't pinch my fingers either, or pinch in here. So like, hey, I'm getting better at it. Like practice makes perfect, right? So Stephanie says it would be good in a Bloody Mary too, I'd bet. Yes. So we actually have done it, I think, in a Bloody Mary. And we actually found a Bloody Mary mix also at the farmer's market that I go to. And it's called Bloody Good Mud. And so it's like almost like a paste instead of like a very like a liquidy mix. And it's excellent, and it has all of the seasoning in it, so you don't have to add anything spice wise. You don't have to add black pepper or Tabasco. You can, of course, if you want to, but we tried that out and we really liked it. Mr. Tarot by Hilary is known for making his Bloody Marys, and also it was in her wedding vows. Like, and I'm not even joking with you, like literally we wrote our own vows, and one of those was a promise to make me Bloody Marys every Sunday. And it's more like tongue-in-cheek. And the vow that I made was to never hit on 17 in blackjack. And that is based on a true story of me hitting on 17, knowing that the 4 was coming, and nearly getting my ass kicked at a casino because I took the 4 from someone that was sitting to the left of me. Yeah, that's a no-no, by the way, in blackjack rules. I didn't know that because I don't really gamble that much. So anyway, true story. Not I promise, I solemnly vow never to hit on 17 is one of my marriage vows to Mr. Tarot by Hilary. So, only being married to a professional psychic or tarot reader, and you're going to get those kind of stories. They're usually based in some kind of wild tale. Anyway, let me look and make sure that we are broadcasting correctly to the tube of you. We are indeed. Looks good. I'm just gonna double check the audio, make sure I see the video. Yep. We're good. So yeah. Okay. So yes, 3 main pillars tonight for the broadcast. Also, gotta tell you, we did a recording of Card Slingers Coast to Coast today. I don't know when it's going to be broadcast, but you guys do have a little bit of homework before that episode comes out, and that is watching the Disney Plus series Agatha All Along, because we did do an episode because it was fresh in Jamie's mind. She just watched it this week, and she took like 8 pages of notes to talk about the tarot in that series. So Again, we did a spoiler alert for that episode, so like please make sure you watch the entirety of Agatha All Along before that episode comes out and before you listen to that episode. Otherwise, you will get spoiled. So, and I'm kind of glad that I didn't rewatch it in preparation for recording the episode, because it was more Jamie taking the lead and talking about it and talking over her notes, and Melissa and I chiming in based on our memory from when we watched it. I think Melissa watched it a month ago and I watched it when it came out. So September to end of October, I think. So I was watching it, episodically every week as episodes came out. So, and we were also thinking about doing more episodes about like a tarot reader reviews blank, whether that's a TV show or a movie or some kind of reference to tarot in pop culture, whether it's true or real or not. We definitely talked about Agatha All Along and said that their consultant was fabulous, because all the keywords were right on the money. And yeah, so I'm going to stop talking about it. Otherwise, I don't want a spoiler. And that episode was long too. So Kendra, our wonderful producer and editor, please forgive us for the length of that episode. It might be a two-parter. We went long. We went much longer than we thought we were going to, and much longer than we usually record episodes. We usually tap out at about the half-hour mark, because we know that you guys listen to us when you're cleaning, or when you're on your commute, or when you're doing dishes, or when you're vacuuming, or we know that you want bite-sized episodes. This was not a bite-sized episode. So we I think I don't know, maybe 20 minutes in, I was just like, oh, by the way, guys, this might be a long episode. Like, pause now and get yourself, make yourself a cup of coffee or a cup of tea or something. Like, get cozy, get comfortable, because we're going for a while, and we certainly did that. So yeah. So Stephanie says, love that idea. Fantastic. It was actually Mr. Tarot by Hilary's idea. And right before I jumped on the recording, he was talking to me about how he wanted me to watch, and we have since done this. He wanted me to watch the James Bond movie Live and Let Die, because of the whole usage of Jane Seymour as the tarot reader Solitaire, and how the usage of tarot or her readings helped, I guess, move the plot forward. And no offense, and spoiler alert to those of you who have not watched Live and Let Die. She loses her tarot psychic powers once she gives in to James Bond's romantic overtures. And I was just like, doesn't that say so much about women and power without saying anything at all, without directly referencing it? Like, suddenly her magic's gone. It's just like, could that be said about, feminine mystique? As soon as she gives it away, like, she's no longer interesting or useful, or, there's a lot of conclusions you can draw from watching that movie. So it was actually Mr. Tarot by Hilary's idea. Like, I would love to hear you guys talk about, Live and Let Die, or I would love to hear you guys talk about, the horror movie Tarot. And I'm just like, first of all, I would have to get over the fact that it's a horror movie, because I am a wimp and I don't watch scary movies. But we may suck it up and all watch it separately and then come together and discuss it. So if you guys have suggestions as to what you would like us to review, quote unquote, I don't know if it's necessarily a review, more so like, is this true to tarot? Is it accurate or not? Is it, did they do their homework, or are we just going to make fun of it? So Fran says, me neither, about scary movies. Yeah, I can't do it. I get real, I don't like it. Like, I watched Saw, and I watched the TV version of Saw, and I still had nightmares for weeks. And I was just like, listen, Mr. Tarot by Hilary, I will watch this as long as you can deal with me having nightmares for a couple of weeks and you having to deal with my nightmares for a few weeks. And so far, that has been enough of an excuse not to do horror movies for me. Just like, hey, listen, if you enjoy it, like, do that on your own time. But I'm not watching a horror movie with you. But I will say, like, The Craft, for example. I don't know if there's any tarot content in The Craft necessarily, but there's certainly some behind the scenes stuff that I know about the movie The Craft that gives me pause and makes me think, like, that there was definitely something there, especially during, like, the invocation to Manal scene, which was shot on a beach. The waves kept on coming up closer and closer and closer, and I suspect the reason why, because it was not a real deity that they were referencing in the movie, but the name that they chose was suspiciously close to, I believe, the god of the sea, Maranamaclear. So, and they were on a beach, and the waves kept on coming in and coming in, and the power kept on shorting out at that exact moment of invocation. So it's just like, like, you're tapping into something. So we might not necessarily cover just tarot stuff. We might also cover some witchy stuff as well. But yeah, so I feel like the Agatha All Along episode was almost like a start of something. So, but if you guys have requests, you know where to find us. You can either message me directly, or you can shoot us an email, cardslingercc@gmail.com. All three of us have access to that inbox, and we would love to hear your suggestions for the tarot reader's take on blank. So let's see. What else do I need to cover with you guys before we do the astro-weather? I feel like there was one more thing. Oh, yes. So I did want to shout out the reason why I'm so comfortable on camera. I feel like I have talked about this before in past episodes, but we are into the 6th year, I believe, of doing both Card Slingers Coast to Coast, so podcast. And also I'm in my 6th year of doing this live stream. In August, it will be 6 years. And I just wanted to shout out Molly Mahoney and her team at The Prepared Performer. Her program, Camera Confidence, is the reason why I'm so confident on camera, why I'm able to do this live stream, and continue to do it consistently, or fairly consistency, over the last 6 years. The reason why I know about my third-party broadcasting app, the reason I am able to continue to do this is because I learned it from Molly Mahoney and her team at The Prepared Performer. So, and I just looked at my inbox like 2 seconds ago, and I think I got like residual, like, affiliate payments, I think. And I'm like, cool. Like, that's cool. That's great. Like, I love to see it, because I do not do affiliate marketing or referral marketing lightly. Like, I have to really love it, and I have to see that it really works for me if I am shouting it out. So I'm shouting it out. If you want to find more information about Camera Confidence, which I don't think is the name of the program anymore. I think the name of the program is Show Up with Video. I'm going to double check. Video. Prepared Performer. Just gonna do a quick little Yes, I think it's this. Pretty sure. I found it. So I'm just going to give you guys the link to the directory of courses. And I think Talk Stars, AI Foundation, Social Stars. Why can't I find it? Swing into Social. She does a lot of stuff. Her team does a lot of stuff. There it is. There's Camera Confidence. So that Camera Conference, there's a mini chorus. That's not the one that I'm referring to, but it's close enough. There's also Glam, Go Live and Monetize. And there it is. Show up with video. So there's a lot of different options there, but I know I've done Show Up with Video, which was formerly known as Camera Confidence. So shout out to them, and I'm going to go ahead and drop that into the chat if you guys are interested. Love them. Thank you guys so much. Very, very helpful. And I'm just going to show that there. So mollymahoney.samcart.com/courses/directory. And you can find out about Camera Confidence, aka Show Up with Video, and more. So, and also I think there's a lot of free options as well. If you follow them on social media, there's a lot of like quick tips that you can implement like right away. So, oh, thank you, Dina. So Dina says, I listened to the Lenormand episode. Great. So was that, which one was that? Because I know I did the Lenormand on here. So there's a replay available on here, but then there's also a Lenormand episode of Card Slingers called, I believe, The Dirty 36 with V from Red Light Readings. So whichever one helped you, either or both, like fantastic. Like it's really inspiring me to go back to Rana George's The Essential Lenormand, which is like thick. And to look over that, even if it is not our first selection for the book club that I was talking about last week. I've got a pile of books over here too that I still have to do the poll on to see what we're going to land on. So yeah, Card Slingers. Yeah. So that episode was the Dirty 36. Yeah. So I'm so glad that helped you, Dina. And the way that V teaches Lenormand, like I don't know, it feels very accessible to me, because sometimes it's like it's so strict. Sometimes it's so like go back to the question. What's the question? What's the question? What's your question? What was it? It's just like, let's talk about my love life. Well, tarot wants you to focus on your career right now. Like you are not going to get that kind of reading with the Lenormand. Lenormand will answer the question. You've got to go back to the question you asked though. Yeah, I'll listen to the YouTube one too, the Tube of You one. So, past replay. I think I did one exclusively on Lenormand, but it might also be, no, I think I did do one on Lenormand. I did one on Lenormand, and I think I did one on, angel cards, oracle cards, and Lenormand, and like what the differences are in between. So making my own cards with stickers. Yeah. And I feel like that also, like making your own cards, especially with the divination system like Kipper or like Lenormand, where you can just like write the word. Like you can do that too with tarot to some degree, but tarot is such a visual system, especially with the Rider-Waite-Smith iconography or symbology on it. Like I think that would be a little bit hard to like flashcard yourself with like Chariot, High Priestess, Three of Swords, Two of Cups. Like I feel like you need the visual, but with Kipper, with Lenormand especially, it's just like you only typically, like the fox is the fox is the fox. you know, Kipper kind of incorporates a little bit of directionality into it, so you might not be able to do that entirely with Kipper. So yes, yes. I feel like someone mentioned that last episode. If not you, somebody else. Erica Robinson's Language of Lenormand is great too. All right. All right, let me have another sip of my drinky drink and let's get into the astrology. I feel like the astrology has been rough this week, but we've been navigating it as best as we can. I think I might have put too much olive juice in the, but then I'm getting the back end of the ramp vodka. Like you definitely can taste the ramp there. Anyway, experimentation, right? So let's do the, where are my, speaking of referral links. So yeah, Tina says it must have been me recommending that book. So we have astrology from Teresa Reed's wonderful Astro Biz Digest for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Again, I don't like to give away the farm on these episodes. I want to give you a taste of what Teresa does in her Astro Biz Digest. And then if you like what you're hearing, you can then subscribe from there. So astrology in layman's terms, straight to your email inbox. It is geared towards entrepreneurs and business owners, but I have found it to be incredibly helpful in planning both my tarot business and my personal life as well. $99 for a year-long subscription. And she has never raised the price. I think it's been $99 this entire time she's been doing it. And when mine came up for renewal, I was just like no brainer. Like, of course, we're renewing. So, all right. So Astro Digest weekly forecast for January 13th to the 19th. Again, the reminder that Mars is in retrograde until February 23rd. That's a long little transit for a retrograde, but I know you guys can shine through it. Knowing what you know from Teresa, avoid fights, do not start lawsuits, do not start a new business, relaunch previous programs, think before taking action, and choose business battles wisely. So, this week begins at home and ends with the collective. The full moon in Cancer on Monday is great for getting your home office in order. File papers, put things away, take out the garbage, spritz those plants. If you feel extra ambitious, roll up your sleeves and deep clean that sucker. So yeah, I was doing a little bit of that. A little bit of that at the beginning of the week. My back has been like really, really bad this week and last week. So I've been doing what I can when I can. So taking it easy on myself too, because, Cancer as well. Think about, crab, hard exterior, soft, squishy, vulnerable insides. That's how I feel about my back. Actually, I can kind of see like my shoulders like compensating right now because like it started to migrate into here. So that's also the reason why I'm not saying it out loud. I'm not jinxing this, but it's going to be a 3 pillars episode and we done. No fixed topic in mind because like, especially after recording Card Slingers today, we recorded, so we recorded a long time. I believe the episode clocked in at 1 hour and 45 minutes. So this is the reason why Kendra might kill us. It's possible, but we probably are going to break it into 2 parts just to make it a little bit more digestible. We'll see. Anyway, but when we start talking about something that we're passionate about, we start talking. Anyway, so Sun is in Aquarius on the 19th. So that is coming up on Sunday. Puts the focus on group activities, humanitarian work, teamwork, technology, and innovation for the following 4 weeks. So Aquarius season, baby, my Aquarius babies. And my father-in-law, I believe, is an Aquarius. It makes so much sense. So it's a superb time for gatherings, networking events, and community building. So much to do, so little time. This transit lasts until February 18th, when the sun moves into emo Pisces. Um, Planning, serious meetings, and networking. It's here until the 27th. So Aquarius from the 19th of January till February 18th. Okay. So that is the main stuff going on. Full moon in Cancer on Monday, sun in Aquarius on Sunday. And then Mars retrograde continues until February 23rd. All right. Any questions about the overview before we move into Friday, Saturday, and Sunday? And it's been a little bit nutty this week. Because Mr. Tarot by Hilary was asking me, what is going on astrologically? What's happening? And I'm just like, Mars retrograde? Like, what? Describe to me why you're asking me that. And then he described it to me, and I'm just like, Mars retrograde. Also, it could have been the full moon as well. So Stephanie says, how fitting, on Sunday I'm volunteering at a clothing swap. That's perfect. Like, perfect Aquarius activity. Aquarius is all about thinking globally, humanitarian. So perfect, right on the money there. All right, so let me do another sippy poo. All right. So Friday, today, January 17th, the sun is in sextile with Neptune for 24 hours beginning at 6:20 a.m. Disciplined creativity is the vibe. Tune in, make art, and let your imagination run wild. Come down to earth for a spell around 10:33 a.m. Eastern Standard Time when the moon squares Jupiter. If you do not ground yourself, you could get suddenly overwhelmed or suddenly feel overwhelmed. Don't get lost in the details. Take a break to restore yourself, then hit it hard 2 hours later when the vibe lifts. So again, these things have already happened. The Moon Mercury trine at 2:28 p.m. is super duper for newsletters, teaching, or pitching the media. Do one or all three, and you'll set the stage for big time success. Beware of 2 gnarly aspects this evening: the Moon-Venus opposition at 4:46 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and the Moon-Saturn opposition at 6:43 p.m. So those 2 things have already passed. The public is salty, whiny, and mean. Nope. Don't engage with stupidity. My plan, or Teresa's plan, was to forget the day once that crap kicks in. So today, Friday, January 17th, is a power day for Virgo and a weekday for Pisces. Actually, very fitting because we were driving to our appointment at 4:46, and then we were driving home from our appointment at the grocery store at around that time. So Moon Venus opposition, driving to our appointment. Moon Saturn opposition, driving home. Very, very true. There was a lot of really, really questionable driving going on. So I was very happy to be in the driver's seat. Like, I get very nervous when somebody else is driving, because like I want to be in control, like typical Aries, right? And my back has been so bad that Mr. Tarot by Hilary was just like, do you want me to drive? Like, I can drive, because like I was like I was checking my blind spots, and when I was checking my blind spots, I was like getting a twinge, and I'm just like, no, because then I have to fix my seat when I come back out tomorrow to drive to work. Like, no, no, it's fine. I'll deal with it. I'll grin and bear it, but thank you for the offer. So I was very happy that I was driving though, because somebody else driving my car, I don't care if it's my husband or not. Like I get nervous. So, all right. So Saturday and Sunday, lots of stuff going on this weekend, guys. Saturday's Virgo moon keeps the productivity hyped up. Hit the ground running as soon as the rooster crows. You'll be stunned at how much you can get done this morning. The moon Uranus trine at 9:13 a.m. is excellent for a PR campaign. Just remember to make it as original as possible. Don't do the same old, same old. Willpower heightens when the moon sextiles Mars at 12:53 p.m. Whatever you're working on, keep going. Break for dinner when the moon opposes Neptune at 5:48 p.m. The public is distracted at that time. You'll have better luck capturing a runaway train than trying to get eyes on your work. Creative discipline is plentiful this weekend when Venus conjuncts Saturn at 8:26 p.m. It's a fantastic aspect for progress on creative as well as marketing goals. Stephanie says, "Ha! I'm always the driver too. Like if you want something right, do it yourself, right? Right? All right. Creative discipline is plentiful this weekend. Where was I? Yeah. Yes, creative discipline is plentiful this weekend when Venus conjuncts Saturn at 8:26 p.m. Fantastic aspect for progress on creative as well as marketing goals. It's also divine timing for a serious PR campaign. Whatever you do it well and be a pro. The moon enters Libra at 10:33 p.m., a lovely lunation for networking, connecting, creating, and negotiating. If you need to sign a contract or seal a partnership, this weekend delivers the goods. Sunday is fabulous for business. The Libra moon is still holding court, plus Mercury is making favorable aspects. It begins with a Mercury sextile Saturn at 2:38 a.m., which provides amazing powers of concentration, but I will probably be asleep. This is ideal if you need to study or complete a project. Pop out a newsletter when Mercury sextiles Venus at 11:32 a.m., a stellar aspect for sales. If that's not your jam, use this time to network instead. Calling all tech geeks, Aquarius season arrives at 3 p.m. So we talked about that a little bit before. Sunday ends on a positive note when the moon trines Jupiter at 10:06 p.m. This aspect is ideal for travel, social activity, mixed business with pleasure, and business investments, or doing nothing at all. Your choice. So Saturday is a power day for Virgo and a weekday for Pisces. Sunday is a power day for Libra and a weekday for Aries. So my fellow Aries, you might want to take it easy on Sunday because it's a weekday for us. Week, W-E-A-K. All right. So now that you have gotten your astrology for the weekend, does anyone want me to check Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday for the astrological reason why? And then we'll move on to the mid-episode reading. I'm kind of curious to see what was going on earlier this week when I was fighting with technology. I can't remember, when was it? Yesterday or the day before? I think it was Wednesday. I was just railing against my technology. I was trying to batch a bunch of things, making a lot of short form videos, and it was just like pulling teeth. It was just so much work, even though I have software to be able to like pull out the the most compelling portions of like these longer form videos. I still have to go over it. I still have to pick things out. I still have to look over the closed captioning and make sure that the closed captioning is actually transcribing what I'm saying faithfully. Um, I don't know if I have an accent necessarily, but every time I say tarot, it says terror, Terror, or sometimes tarot with no T at the end. So these are kind of the little things that bug me and stir up the recovering perfectionist in me. So I personally want to look at Wednesday, because Wednesday was just like, the technology was like not on my side. And I just wanted to throw my computer and my phone and every piece of technology I had out the window. So, and you might have also had similar thoughts. So personally, I'm going to look at Wednesday, but I'm open to suggestions. Yeah. Weekday for Aquarius, power day for Leo, weekday for Aquarius. I don't know. Moon trine Chiron, Sun opposes Mars at 9:39 p.m. But I was having problems in the morning, not the evening. So maybe there was not an astrological reason why for my technology to fail on me. So could have been lingering Venus square Jupiter, extravagant spending, self-indulgence, and procrastination. So that's possible. All right. Any takers? No. All right. So let us open up the lottery jar and the snake and our and let me double check my settings here to make sure the keyword is correct. Our filter word, our magic word, to win or possibly be in the running to win a 3-card reading with me live on the broadcast is tarot. TAROT. Now that I've said that sometimes the captions get my pronunciation wrong or spell it as terror. All right. Fran says tarot in big caps, capital letters, so that it cannot be misconstrued. I was playing around with this overlay. Let me check this. That's kind of cute. Very, very teeny though. I mean, if you're watching me full screen, you can probably see my socials in there, but go back to the stars. Yeah, that's what I thought. No, they are itty bitty. That's right. You guys know where to find me. I know you do. I know you know. You know where to find me. All of my socials are there. tarotbyhilary.com. You can find all of my socials there, except no substitutes. All right. So, one more minute to enter. If not, Fran takes the day. And start thinking about which tarot deck you want to be read from. I have a couple of options that are close to hand, but I can go grab another deck if you're not hearing the deck that you particularly want to be read from. We have the Meraki Tarot right to my left hand. We have the Accurate AF Tarot to my right hand. We have the Tarot of the She and the Radiant Rider-Waite-Smith mini deck in the bag next to me. We also have, I felt like I had the Tarot Nova around here somewhere too, which was cute and tiny as well. And the Pagan Otherworlds too. All right. It looks like, unsurprisingly, Fran is the winner of our mid-episode reading. So I'll go ahead and hide the keyword because a winner is you, Fran. So go ahead and put your question into the chat and your preference on tarot deck. If you don't have a preference, just tell me dealer's choice and I will grab a deck for you. And I will probably also add on an oracle card on top of it or an affirmation card on top of it because those are close to hand too. Okay. So the question is in, my sister and I's relationship has bittered. Can it be healed? Now, you know that as a dealer's choice. Okay, then I'm going to go with the Meraki because I feel like it's a sensitive subject, and I feel like the Meraki has a little bit of a softer touch. Like I like as much fun as it would be to pull the Accurate AF for this question, it also could be potentially harmful to do so. So I think the Meraki has a little bit of a softer touch, but also will tell you the message that you need to hear without harming. Because, you know, in my in the folly of my youth, when I was a young and maybe careless tarot reader, even though probably my mentors would say to me that I was never a careless reader, I probably would be a little bit more glib and just, spit fire or whatever. But, in my wisdom of being a reader for a number of years now, a number of decades now, I think that, you know, sensitivity is not a weakness but a strength, and sensitivity of delivering the message is a strength, not a weakness. So I'm going with the Meraki tarot. And also, as a reader who's been doing this a while, I will rephrase a little bit, because the question is, my sister and I's relationship has bittered. Can it be healed? That's a yes or no question. So if the focus is on healing that relationship, I want to tweak it slightly to how can it be healed? Now, you still do have the yes or no question in there. There's certainly cards that'll come up to indicate whether or not there is a possibility of healing or not. But we're working towards how, the advice on how it can be healed. If it can be healed, how can it be healed? Yeah. Absolutely agree. Delivery of the message can make such a difference. It's hard. It's hard. You want to, and you want to deliver the message without sugarcoating as well, which I thought, I know that I'm blunt. I know that I'm a little bit more of a sharper instrument than maybe some other tarot readers, but that's my style. And people come to me wanting that, and I realize that it's not it's an asset, But I also understand, when I was a younger reader, that I could have been more careful with how I delivered readings. So, anywho, let's read on the question using the Meraki tarot. Ooh, like, you're not kidding, Fran, when you say the relationship has bittered, because the very first card that's coming up is the Three of Swords. However, you are getting the Ace of Pentacles, which to me is a good sign that there is mending to be had. There is potential. And you're also getting the High Priestess reversed. So you are getting, all three cards are tarot cards. So the Meraki tarot, and I think I've said it before, I'll say it again. I love that this deck also includes oracle cards like yes, no, apathy. I can't remember what the other ones are. So I wish more tarot creators would do this. And, if I ever were to create a deck, I'm sure that's going to happen at some point in my career, I would want the inclusion of oracle cards in it, additional to the 78 cards of the tarot, just for not for shits and giggles, but because I feel like it can really be helpful to have like a solid yes and a solid no as a possibility in those cards. Now, for your reading, there are no oracle cards. It's pretty clear. So you're getting the Three of Swords, you're getting the Ace of Pentacles, and you're getting the High Priestess reversed. So can it be healed? I think the answer is yes, it can be healed. Initially, when I was shuffling the cards, I was getting a message from my clairaudience that it's just like, let the past be in the past. And also like, knowing where you sit and who you are can better help you in healing this relationship, because you are on a different level to your sister. Now, there are moments where you feel this very keenly, and you try and have a deeper conversation, but it's not to say that there's dumbness or stupidity. It's more like the friction or the bitterness is in the fact that you're not on the same level. So oftentimes you have to kind of sink down to be able to meet her where she is. I think that's a better way of phrasing it. You have to meet her where she is. She can't come to meet you where you are, because she's just not capable of it. It's not that she's bad or wrong or mean or stupid. It's just simply she can't, like, you're here, she can't rise to this. So you have to go down. Now, this is not to say that you're going to or playing to the lowest common denominator. It's not. It's more that in the outset, you need to, like, in order to be able for it to be healed, you need to come to that realization that it's just like you're on a different level than her, and you're always going to have to come down to her level in order to have any kind of healing, any kind of real communication. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Now, I'm going to show you the cards. The Three of Swords in the Meraki Tarot has no business being this pretty, but it is. And it's a very, I know this sounds stupid, but it's a very airy, it's a very airy Three of Swords, even though there is the element of air there with swords. Swords is the element of air, conflict and communication, but like, notice the gusts of air that's in this card. And then also you have the rainstorm as well, that is typical of the Three of Swords depiction. You do have the hearts, but instead of being one big heart and three swords piercing through it, you have multiple hearts, and only one heart that's actually pierced. And then the possibility of the two other hearts being pierced. And then you have one whole heart up here, one whole heart down here. Now, this feels significant to me, that it's just like, but it's also the first card. So to me, usually when I do a 3-card spread, it's like past, present, future. So this is like, this is kind of the past. This is like, now I understand, like, the relationship has bittered, but I feel like in order to be able to heal it, you have to go back to the place of bitterness. Like, you got to go back to where it began, because I feel like with the Three of Swords coming up, I feel like it's more of a miscommunication than anything that was done deliberately. Now, it's hard not to take what happened personally. However, with this card, with the Three of Swords, I'm not getting a sense of like betrayal. I'm just more getting a sense of it was a miscommunication, and feelings got hurt because of the miscommunication. Like, there's a phrase that's very, very hard to wrap my head around because, Aries, but it's just like assuming positive intent. That is hard for me because it's just like I take a lot of things personally. But in order to really start the process of healing, you have to be willing to come down to her level. You also have to be willing to go back to the place of the original hurt and realize that there was a miscommunication there. Even though you took it personally, or things were taken personally, know that it was a miscommunication and it wasn't done deliberately to harm. It was simply someone doing the best that they could do. Now, that's not to say that this was the best that you could do. They were doing their best. Again, This is way deeper than I usually do on a mid-episode reading, but like, just go with it. So that's Three of Swords. You have to go back to the place of the original hurt, and you have to understand that it wasn't done deliberately. It was a miscommunication, and assume positive intent, or try to assume positive intent going forward. That's the only way that this is really going to be healed. Ace of Pentacles. I nearly muted myself there by accident by picking up the card. Ace of Pentacles to me is a yes. It can be healed. Now, I know I said, how can it be healed? But also, we are getting the answer. Yes, it can be healed. This particular depiction of the Ace of Pentacles is all about like the crystals. You may want to also look into your crystal collection. I know this sounds really woo-woo, but, you know, I'm going there. Look at your crystals, especially like look for some rose quartz, look for some peridot, and look for some blue. So blue to me is the throat chakra. I can't remember. Oh, there's a specific crystal that I wanted to recommend. And it's not coming to me right now, but I have a necklace of it, and I have a ring. And I'm not going to remember it, but if it comes back to me, I'll message you. But blue is for the throat chakra. So I feel like you need peridot, you need rose quartz for the heart, and you need a blue stone for the throat chakra to be able to say everything that you want to say, and also say it with kindness, say it with the intent that it is heard, so that things can start to heal. Ace of Pentacles as well. Pentacles is the suit of earth, grounding, practicality as well. It's just like you want to be able to have this strong base, because, you know, with the Three of Swords, it's just like, I don't think there was ever, yes, there is bitterness, but there was just like, there was a closeness, but it was always like, it was tentative. You want to be able to have a relationship that is grounded and stable, right? The Ace of Pentacles says that it can happen, but you also have to be consistent about it too, and realize that it's just like, it's not going to be smooth sailing either. This path, it's possible, but it may be harder than you expected it to be. Now, with the High Priestess coming up reversed, this is a really pretty card, so I'm going to show it upright. Hold on. There's the High Priestess. There's the reversal there. So you need to trust your intuition. When the High Priestess comes up, especially when reversed, like, this is part of the reason why I have it on me. High Priestess card here. Upright is how everybody else sees it. Reversed is how I see it. And a reversed High Priestess to me is every time that I haven't trusted my intuition or haven't listened to my intuition, and I've ended up being bitten in the butt for it. So so there's something about the situation where I feel like there are messages that you've been getting from your intuition. And I think that you should heed those messages, but not necessarily share them. not necessarily share them with your sister, not necessarily share them with other people. It's just like these messages are for you and you alone, in order to navigate the situation. I feel like there's more to the High Priestess reversed in this reading than that. But it's also, I don't know, it feels like something that it's just like, you've gotten this message before, you've had this like this same intuitive hit keeps on coming up for you. Don't ignore it. Don't ignore it. You can heal this relationship, but also that doesn't mean like turning the other cheek or ignoring bad behavior either. You know, like I feel like you can have a relationship with your sister, but also have it be on your terms. There is a little bit of like being the bigger person, but also to what point? So remember that the most important relationship that you can have is the one that you have with yourself. And you should be able to put that first, above anything else. And then all of the other relationships follow from that. So I'm trying to, wow, like, you know, the Meraki Tarot makes me be a kinder reader, but also like there's still some sharpness in this reading that I can't quite you know, smooth out. And maybe I don't need to smooth out the rough edges. So but it's a pretty strong reading. Like, yes, I think it can be healed. But also there's a lot of work to do. And there is a little bit of letting things go, meeting someone at their level, but also, you know, keeping your boundaries intact too. It's just like, it's not going to be all at once. And any feedback that I can get from you, Fran. Yeah, it's a hard it's a hard situation. I feel like that's also part of the reason why the High Priestess came up as a major arcana. You know, it's just like it's not going to be quick, it's not going to be easy, it's not a glib kind of reading. You know, it's going to take some time because there's the like 3 of Swords. It's hard to believe, and I know it's hard to believe that this was a miscommunication, because it feels very pointed. And it feels like a betrayal. So now let me give you an affirmation card. Lynn is also here. Hello to you, Lynn. Welcome back. I remember you from, I think, a couple of weeks ago. So let me grab, I think we need Super Attractor. So this is an affirmation deck. And this is not necessarily an answer to the question, but more what affirmation can you take away from the reading that will be the most helpful for you? Okay. I should really put a caveat, or I have put a caveat before, that even like the kindest and sweetest decks in my hands become sharp. Don't know why that is. So the message from, or the affirmation from the Super Attractor deck is, when I live and act from a place of spiritual alignment, I can trust that everything is working out for me. even if I don't know when or how it will happen. So some of it is doing the work, right? Doing the mending, reaching out. And some of it is letting it be and not knowing how it's all going to come about, knowing that it will, but not knowing how or when. It's like a more poetic phrasing of what was I going to say? Like letting it let it be. Okay. So thank you for telling me after the reading. I am no contact with the parent. She is full contact, and the parent is in her ear. I understand that. I do understand that. I actually understand that for both of my parents. There were points where my sister was no contact with my mom, and there was a longer point where I was no contact with my dad. So I get it. And Fran, if you want to talk privately, you can always send me a message. I totally, I get it. I get it. There's reasons for no contact. There's reasons for estrangement. And again, like emphasis on the Three of Swords and miscommunication. So we can talk privately if you would like. I'm probably going to, after the broadcast is over, I'm probably going to step away from the computer and eat and everything. So if I don't get back to you right away, like just know it's not because I hate you. It's just because I need to step away because my back is screaming and I need to eat. And I need to get some sleep. So, but my inbox is open if you want to talk about that because it's hard. There is a book that I've read a couple of years ago called Educated by Tara Westover, I believe. And she was raised, and this is a very extreme example, she was raised in a doomsday survivalist prep, like doomsday prep kind of cult, I guess. So she was never educated. She never went to school. And she went no contact with her parents. And she ended up, I think, getting a doctorate. But it's this whole story about, her life and, the things that happened to her that she came to needing to be estranged from her parents in order to basically survive. And she was interviewed and said that she believes that there should be more estrangement stories because it's so much more common than people realize, and you feel completely alone in why you're doing what you're doing, and you also feel very wrong about it too, especially if it's estrangement between parent and child, whether it's the parent choosing to go no contact or whether it's the child choosing to go no contact. So just know that you're not alone. There's many examples of this, and yeah. So Fran, so that's your reading. Thank you so much for putting your name in the hat. And I know that was probably one of the rougher ones. Yeah, that we've done. And thank you for being so vulnerable and volunteering to be read in a public space. I know that it's an act of vulnerability, and I appreciate you. And of course, if people were watching this and are wondering, like, how can I get a reading? You can either come back next week, Fridays, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and win one, or you can book a reading with me. Tarotbyhilary.com is the only way to book a reading with me. Tina says about my sharpness. I turn any kind of soft and sweet deck into sharper than it needs to be because you're an Aries. I'm like, oh yeah, that could be it too. Fran says, thank you. You're very, very welcome, Fran. So yeah, just a reminder that we do this every Friday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I can teach different topics as well. This tonight was a no topic episode, just no topic, just vibes. But I can teach on most anything you want to know about the tarot or divination, or accessing your intuition, because I firmly believe everyone has intuition. So we do this every Friday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, on the Book of Face and the Tube of You. And we've been doing this for the last 5 years now. We're going into our 6th year of the live stream. So replays are available on the Tube of You, in the workshops playlist. So if you want to search for a topic that you're not sure I taught about, search the topic, and you will probably find an episode on it. And if you don't, you can always request an episode on whatever it is that you want to learn about, whatever your little heart desires. I would be happy to bring that to you. Fran says the decks come for other people, not just you. Yes. Yes. I mean, tonight it was you. So most of the time it's both. So another heads up, guys, PSA, commercial break. Please make sure to follow me on the Book of Face and the Tube of You. Follow, click the bell, subscribe, like these videos too. If you happen to go back into the archives and the replays and you watch an episode and you liked what you're seeing, please go ahead and like it and leave a comment as well. Engagement is a really good way to know, like, that I'm on the right track for some of this stuff. And also, like, the more I know what you guys like, the more I can tailor some of these episodes to what it is that you want to learn. So, all right. Enough commercial break. Enough shameless shameless self-promotion. Yeah, shameless. I don't have shame about promoting myself. Okay. Do we want to do the weekend forecast? I think it's time, guys. It is time. It is time, because I'm down to the last. I'm down to the dregs of my drink. It is done, and the olives have been marinating. You know, Mr. Tarot by Hilary doesn't like olives. And I don't know why I married him. He doesn't like olives. Like, how? How is that right? More for me, I guess. All right. Do we have any requests on which deck we would like to be read from? So I have the Affirmations deck, Super Attractor, in my hot little hands. I also have the Spirit Junkie. I got Tarot of the She. I've got Pagan Otherworlds. Pagan Otherworlds. I have the Reflective Tarot. I have the Meraki. I have the Roast Iconic Oracle deck. That is, I don't know. I mean, we could do Roast Iconic. We did that last week, and it was very accurate, with the podcast. What was it? Podcast cards, and the Fashion Witch cards. So we can always do that again. Like this is a really cute little deck. Or none of the above. It's up to you guys. Oh, also the Weiser Tarot. You know, if left to my own devices, I'm probably going to pick the Roast Iconic. And then I'm going to go eat. And while I'm eating, we're going to watch the season finale of Outlander, which I've been waiting all day to watch. Because I read the books. So I know what's going to happen. But Mr. Tarot by Hilary doesn't know what's going to happen. Oh, so Fran's asking, what's the pagan one? The Pagan Otherworlds by UUSI. Beautiful deck, by the way. Oh, I also have the Siren Song Lenormand too. Maybe I should actually continue my winter cleaning. This one here. So this one has the 78 cards of the tarot. And look what's right on top. The year card for 2025, the Hermit. Here's the backs. This one also has the moon phases. It's nice and smooth shuffle too. Good card stock. I don't have a companion book for it though. I can't remember who gave me this one. I want to say it was Liz. I feel like Liz had an extra one and she sent it to me. I don't know. Whoever's watching that gave me the Pagan Otherworlds Tarot, thank you. And please identify yourself, because at this point, I don't remember who gave me what. I know that I got the Dreaming Way Tarot from... Wait, did I get the Dreaming Way Tarot from Jenna? No. I got the Wildwood. I got the Wildwood Tarot from Jenna Matlin, Queen of Wands Tarot. All right, should we just go with the Pagan Otherworlds, since it's in my hands anyway? We can do 1 and 1. Right, what do we need to know for this weekend? Five of Swords. Okay. That's not great, guys. So we have the Five of Swords for this weekend. So sans people, by the way. Now I'm going to look. I want to see. So Pagan Otherworlds kind of has a non-illustrated minor arcana pip, because there's no figures on this. So I'm going back to my Rider-Waite-Smith background, and seeing, you know, the 3 figures on the beach, the 2 figures walking away with like basically no swords in their hands, and that 3rd figure that's in the foreground, like holding most of the swords and pretty triumphant about it. Or, you know, like it's a card of failed mediation. It's a card of, you know, people kind of not getting their way. Um, it's not a great card. The 5s are not great cards. So notice the background. It's kind of like a darkening sky. It looks like it's about to storm. The beach is empty, rocky. The waves are churning. Yeah, pretty much. Dina says, more flying swords. LOL. Yeah. So, not the best card. So, if I were to give advice based on, for this weekend, based on this card, I would say, you know, avoid group projects if you can. Know that just because you're cast in the role of peacemaker doesn't mean you have to play, you know, doesn't mean you have to be like, just because you're invited. Oh crap, is that this weekend? Oh shoot, I didn't even think of that. I think I've been blocking it out, guys, like the inauguration. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say stick your head in the sand, but like if there's a way to take the high road and stick your head in the sand, like kind of go with that. I don't know. It's just like something like a storms coming, you know, batten down the hatches. All right, I think I need to pull the roast iconic as well. Just to clarify, even though I think that's a pretty clear card, I just need to know. So I'm noting the deep card in the roast iconic. Right, I know. Yeah. Monday, but it's the feeling before. Yeah. Yeah. Princess, oh, I am cleaning out my DVR on Monday. Okay. I think we're on it, guys, because you're not, I mean, like, you can't make this up. So we are getting the privilege card on top of that. And notice, so there's a coffee cup that says white tears, and hashtag love and light. Guys, on top of the 5 of swords. So I'm fully aware that saying 5 of swords is bury your head in the sand. That is privilege. That's a privilege to do that. Some people don't have the privilege of doing that, and I acknowledge that. So this is the roast iconics way of saying, like, stop being such a middle-aged white bitch and, you know, put your ass on the line. So the companion book the companion book interpretation for the privilege card, not that we need it, I don't think that we need it, is Privilege. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. Did you manifest it? Or did you have advantages over others from different societal, racial, cultural, or economic backgrounds that gave you a head start? Right? Tina says, very appropriate card. LOL. What is that Oracle deck? This is the Roast Iconic Oracle. 30 cards for getting wrecked by the universe by Marcella Kroll. I did do an unboxing of this deck a couple of weeks ago, so you can find that in the replays if you would like. All right. Now that the Roast Iconic has done its job, time to go. It is my pleasure to do this live stream every week for you guys. Again, Fridays, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you all so much for showing up every week. I appreciate it. Thank you for keeping me honest and consistent as well. Tonight my back was hurting something fierce, and Mr. Tarot by Hilary, God love him, was just like, they expect you to do the live stream, so do the live stream. You can keep it short. Keep it short if you want to. Do your 3 things and then finish. And I'm just like, you're right. You're right. So thank Mr. Tarot by Hilary for getting me to show up tonight. And thank you guys for being here when I show up every week. I really, really appreciate it. So Dina says, good night. Fran says, go eat and rest. Thank you guys so, so much. So once again, I am Hilary, professional tarot reader and EFT tapping practitioner, here to demystify the mystical and put you in touch with the most beautiful of gifts, your own intuition. Because yes, my friends, don't argue with me. You have intuition. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. And a wonderful week ahead of you. Stay safe, stay strong. Dina says, feel better and ice it. Oh, trust me, Dina, I am going to get Mr. Tarot by Hilary to apply some Tiger Balm to my back and my shoulder. That seems to be doing the trick. It's not a, long lasting fix, but it helps in the moment. So I'll have him do that as well. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you again next Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Book of Face and the Tube of You. And hopefully by then we'll have chosen the book club selection. And I will put up a poll in this upcoming week. So, I can apply democracy to this choice at least. Ooh, getting salty. All right, gotta go. Bye.